So here you can see all the various components that I'd machined for this build. I started with the forward section and I had all the dimensions for that, and this looked like the most complicated piece, but also the piece that's probably the most straightforward to machine. So I started with this. This one here is a NeoPixel build that I'm working on, and it has a 1-inch bore here, which is not exactly accurate, so I had to adjust the dimensions a little, expand the diameter here so I can fit the bore. So other than that, this is exactly to dimension. So machine this piece first. It's very complicated, it has lots of features, as you can see. This is a separate piece, so I don't waste a lot of material. So this piece slides on there and is secured with a set screw, so that you can adjust the position for when the shroud fits on, obviously like here. So there is a little bit of adjustment there, so you can adjust the rotation to get it lined up, and you can set the set screw down on it pretty tightly. It's not going to go anywhere because this holds it all in place as well. So let's take a look at the shroud here. This is a very complicated piece. It took a lot of work, mainly because of these contours and getting the dimensions right and everything to fit. So the way I approached that is I took the original prop and I took a rubbing of the shroud. So this is basically just some paper that was wrapped around the original shroud, and I did a rubbing with crayon, and on double duty out of that I got the template for the pattern here. But I used that, as you can see, to figure out my exact contour and dimensions for that. And then I transferred that to the computer and had a real template, so this lines up perfectly onto that, as you can see. And so that was my template for the shroud. That's how I got the dimensions for the radius and so forth and so on. So the setup on this was where most of the work was. So I had some jigs and stuff that I made to get that done well. Let's see, let's move this out of the way. Then the core. Here's the core shell. So all the electronics will fit into this core. Speaker module is compression into there. Also another straightforward machining job. There's just a lot of details, a lot of marks you had to keep up with. All these little divots here. It's very time consuming. And the 3D printed chassis that I designed for this build, the battery fits into the slot down in here, the board is in this cradle, wiring, access port. This isn't the final design. I might do some more work to it. It does work. I used it in a build, but there's some things about it I want to address. And of course the crystal chamber here, and everything mounts, cleanly. As such, these rods will be shortened, but that's generally how it fits within here. So that would be in there, of course. The electronics would be protected. And then let's move on to the next part. So the next part, probably the most number of parts and the most time consuming, other than what I'm going to talk about next, is this. This is multiple parts. So we have the forward hub that has a 3D printed and designed chassis for holding buttons. The buttons go, where's that orientation? Here we go. Nope. So the recharge port mount is through here. Rumble motor mount, button mount for the button that goes through activation, wire passages, room for wires to gather, all that. And then we have the fins that are machined out of the brass tubes, crystal mounts, some face details. Of course, I have some more face details to do on this one. The bridge, this little button, well, I got it screwed down, but this little button bridge here, many operations on that, for pocket for the button, wire passage here, kind of holds everything together, very sturdy, very strong. The top grill, this is the blank for the top grill. None of the details have been machined in it, but you can see this is how the work starts. Rough it out, get the holes, go back and machine all the other stuff. And then we have the handle body with all the different grooves threaded for the pommel here. So Yeah, these are all threaded on my lathe. Did all that. Recesses and slots and pockets for all the screw access. And this slides over. Let's see how we can get an indication of how this all comes together a little bit here. So that slides on there is held by multiple set screws. A screw here, the screw assembly, the button assembly that screws down to here also clamps it down and prevents it from rotation. So, and it's not going anywhere, even though it is just a non-threaded fit, but that's for alignment primarily. And then, of course, our pommel that I machined. This is lacking the venting and the slots and stuff, but that's coming next. I'm going to do them all at once. I have a couple more to do. Of course, that threads in here as such. These are very tight threads. You know, machinist threads, what I like to call them. A lot tighter tolerances that you would normally get. Another slot for this. Of course, this would go in here, and you would have all the other details. But I'm just giving you an idea of how I approach the construction and building of these. And let's see what else I can talk about. So I generally start with drawings. So I took all the measurements, as you can see here, shroud drawing, got all the measurements. All this stuff exists in 3D Fusion or Fusion 360. Lots of different things. I'm not going to belabor all this, but you get the idea. Lots of work. So like I said, I have 3 more of these that I'm doing. This one is the second farthest along, or this is the farthest along. I have another one that will be following that. I'll probably be keeping this NeoPixel one for myself, but the other 2 I'll probably sell. I'm not sure what I'm going to charge for it. It probably won't be cheap, since these are 1-to-1 accuracy within a couple thousandths. A lot of work, a lot of parts. But stay tuned. I might post them for sale. I'll probably auction them fully assembled. So I just thought I would share an update on what I've been working on over the past couple years. And here's my Orgus den. Thanks for watching.